I'll be discussing the logic behind why it could be an interesting trade to trade the Nikkei rather than the US stock market, which I know that most of you guys are more familiar with, guys. Okay, but I think there will be a huge opportunity coming out of the Nikkei index, guys. Okay, and also from the currency pair sides, I will be focusing on the Japanese yen pairs, guys. Okay, so welcome for everyone who has just joined the live streaming. Okay, that's a good thing. Okay, so I'll be continuing with the last slides. Okay, so we know that the global stock market equities fell for a third day in a row, and oil prices lost ground on Wednesday after data showed that US job openings fell to a 3.5-year low in July, and new orders for US manufactured goods increased more than expected in July, guys. Okay, so that is the main news yesterday night, and it really led to a decline on the gold prices and silver before it gained back on a rebound, guys. Okay, and moving on to the treasuries. So treasury is the bonds on the US side, and it's usually correlated with the expectations of the market regarding the interest rates to go, guys. Okay, so the yield on the benchmark US 10-year notes fell by 0.08%, 8.9 basis points to 3.75. Meanwhile, the 2-year note yield was falling down by 0.12%. So it's showing us clear indications that the inverted yield curve started total by 0.75%, and they say it's reasonable as they see that inflation keep dropping down. Okay. Meanwhile, we can see that the Eurozone business activity received a boost from France hosting the Olympic Games last month, but the chaos in the bloc is likely to return once the Paralympics wraps up as demand remains weak. Meanwhile, moving on to the currency news, we are seeing that the dollar has started to ease against major currency indexes after the July US job openings tilted into the favor of larger US rate cuts. And yen benefited from the safe bid. As we know, the yen was weakened. The yen is strengthening against the dollar by 1.2%. Meanwhile, the euro was up by 0.4% as a result of the news. Moving on to the commodities news side, as we know, gold managed to clinch up a 0.7% closing gain, reversing course to gain ground with help from softer dollar and the lower yields after the weak data on the US job openings. And definitely, the last news will be on the crude oil prices fell on pessimism with about demand in the coming months, which global benchmark Brent slipped 1.4% to settle at $72.7 a barrel, the lowest closing price since last year June, as crude producers offered mixed signals about supply increases. And the data that we have received last night is the OPEC decided to give a signal, or they decided to cut their supply line, meaning that they will not be increasing their production line by about 180,000 barrels. And that definitely would be giving some constraints on the supply line. And also, we receive news out of the US crude inventories are starting to going lower and lower, meaning that there's a possibility that the US side will take this chance to replenish their supplies at oil at a lower prices, which is still currently going on, guys. Okay, so there's that possibility going on. Okay, so it seems that out of the major economies, there are no big central bank decisions. It really due is only on Malaysia, which is not that important for us to trade. But overall, Canada and Poland did cut interest rates yesterday, so I will be talking about that more. As we can see that last night we have data coming out from the China Caixin Index, Australia GDP as well, so we'll be talking about that and Canadian rate decisions and Eurozone PMI PPI, and also out of the US sides, Fed's page book, and also regarding the GOLT for the job opening labor statistics, as well as the new US factory orders. Okay, so as usual, I'll be beginning today's charting view on the currency sides from this currency strength charts where it has been showing us the strength momentum from the currency pairs that has been going through the day before the live stream, just right after the before the live stream, and I've been seeing that Japanese yen still hold the strength, but somehow that the euro has gained some foothold for today alongside Japanese yen, GPB and NZD. So as we can see, Canadian dollar is quite weak for today, and US dollar somehow still managed to get some strength against it. So I think there's a possibility, a good chance to trade those pairs. But my main focus for today's currency pairs will be on the Japanese yen, guys. Okay, so I'll be looking closely through those, and we will see is there any other interesting chances to be made out of it. Okay, so it seems like what has been going through the gold market, right, guys? Okay, so yesterday signal that I've been giving out when you need to sell gold. And actually, guys, if you do pay attention closely to what I've been giving out, it actually already reached the third target price during, I believe it was around 7 or 8 a.m. in the morning in the Asian sessions. And it already reached the third target price at 2472, guys. So it reached the target price that I've reached, and that's a good thing, guys. Okay, so if you guys do put a sell signal after I shared it on my live stream yesterday, I believe you guys should have been able to profit on the third target price, guys. Okay, so what has been going on after that? So as I've mentioned on the news side, that the gold prices has managed to break out of its downtrend line. As we can see, even on a day-to-day time frame, you can also see that it's the same case that has been going on, guys. Okay, so let me readjust all this stuff. Okay, so one thing is for certain is the gold has managed to break out of its downtrend line, and if I draw a new trend line, it still will be showing us the same thing. It has it has break through its downtrend line, showing that as good signs of it. And right now, it's currently breaking out of it, and even it managed to break out of the resistance that I've been mentioning over the last few days, the 2510, and also now it's closing up towards the 2525, which hasn't reached there yet. But currently, one of the things that would be concerning me on the gold prices is what we are seeing currently is it's rising on a low volume, guys. Okay, so let me choose another charts for you guys to have a clearer look on it. Okay, so currently what we are seeing is, okay, so there's no volume on this chart. Okay, this will be the much better charts. So as we can see, today gold rose. That's a good thing, but it's only rising by on a low volume. And I would say it is a bad thing to have on the gold side. Why do I say that? Even though yes, that's true that gold market was still on an uptrend. So I'll be drawing a new trend line to see what has been going on in the gold market, guys, okay? Because the one that I've been sharing has too much things on it, so I will be drawing on a new canvas. So as you guys can see, after rising by a lot, it still continued to rise, guys. Okay, so that's one of the good things. But afterwards, we are started to see it's slowing down after reaching around 2,200 at around May. Okay, so currently it has been going through an accelerated uptrend after breaking through of its original uptrend line, as you can see here, guys. And what will be my main concern is, can it continue that uptrend even faster than before? So that's one of the things that I'm looking at right now. So it managed to bounce back after dropping quite much from 2,400 and plus to 2,300. So right now what I'm seeing is gold prices is not on a good strength for the rise for today. So I didn't see any good news coming out. There hasn't been any much news. So there will be some data from the ISM service PMI tonight. And also, let me check. Yeah, so we'll be waiting for more news on Friday if you guys are waiting for more news. And the problem is I'm looking at it's getting harder for them to breaking out of 25 as I've mentioned on the live stream on the last few days, guys. And currently I'm looking at if it's unable to break through 25, that would be a concern for the gold. Okay, so overall we're still looking at a good uptrend, even though on the last few days it has been going through some correction phase. It's a very normal thing to happen. So it's gone down and managed to rebound back. That's a good thing. And okay, so from what I'm seeing currently, guys, is there's one strong resistance rather than the 25, which is around this as well, guys. Okay, 25.20 would be also one of the resistance line. So, and what I do notice something out of today's gold volume is it's rising on a quite low volume, which is not a good thing because you want to see a good volume rising much rather than on the 20 moving averages on the volume charts. But from the current movement I've seen, it hasn't been able to show that kind of strength. So I'm first of all, I'm worried about the 25.20 resistance. And second of all, it has risen quite much from 2,500 to 2,515. Okay, so I'll be more on the waiting side since it has been giving us some sort of consolidations, and it is currently on the consolidation phase, whether they are going higher or it's going lower. It's not clearly give us a good signs of whether it's going higher or going lower right now, guys. So I'll be more on the waiting side for now, looking for more confirmations, especially if it could break down below 25.13, then I can be giving out a sell signal on gold, because although today gold has been rising up quite much, I agree with that, guys. But one thing is for sure, guys, it hasn't been able to show that kind of strength on the volume side, because something that is rising on a low volume compared to the ones that we are having over the last few weeks, that's not a good sign and it shouldn't be continuing this strength later on, guys. So I'm worried about that, especially if there's suddenly bad news from the ISM services side. We could be seeing another drop down on gold today. But as I've said, because today's gold strength has been quite strong on the Asian sessions, guys, so I'll be more on the waiting side, waiting for more confirmations. If it do break out beyond 25.20, I'll be giving out a buy signal, but if it's going below 25.13, I'll be giving out a sell signal. So currently we are on a waiting phase rather than going and aiming for trading, guys, right now. So it's much safer to say we are going to wait. Okay, so let me return to my normal charts. So as you guys can see, 25.20 is also one of the major resistance. And despite everything we have seen of today's trading strength, I'm not seeing any good confirmations on the volume side, guys, because if you guys can see that the trading volume is still below the 20 moving averages here, guys. Okay, so that's one of my concerns. So I'll be more on the waiting side, and okay, since this is a lot, so I'll be just deleting the previous signal so it won't be disrupting us, guys. Okay, I will be just leaving some because okay, so this is the most recent one, so I will keep those because it could still be reused, guys. When the price action goes towards those prices, I can still reuse those signal. But currently I'm looking at the weakening of gold prices right now, guys. As you guys can see, let me remove some of the previous trend lines to get a clearer look of it. So even though we are seeing that gold has been able to rebound towards the uptrend channel, which is a good thing, but it's rising on a low volume. As you guys can see, it's on a low volume. So as I've said, I'll be more on the waiting side, and if it managed to go down then 25.13 with confirmations, then I will be giving up a sell signal, guys. Okay, so let me okay, so my view for today, guys, I'm giving out a sell signal if it managed to go below 25.13, and you can enter your prices at 25.12 to 25.12.5, and stop losses should be above this. Price target could be around so one of the first price target could be around 8, 10. Next could be reaching 25.03, and I believe it couldn't go that further on, so max should be around 2,500 plus. Okay, So I'm giving out this signal just in case when I'm looking through the materials and I haven't been able to look and it go below those, then you could give a sell signal in position on your sell stop, just in case it happened, guys. Okay, but so let me view back the market, guys. Okay, let me see your discussions as usual, guys. Good to see you guys here on the live stream. Cora, Annie. Okay, I do see some new members. Guts, okay, and also the few regular members. That's a good thing. Okay, you're much very welcome, Encounter and Elden. I do give out a oil signal just earlier on this afternoon, which has reached its first target price. And since then, it hasn't been able to rise much. So it's a good thing if you guys have take profits on those signals. And yes, actually, I do give out a signal yesterday on the oil as well. So I've given out some oil signal today and yesterday, and it's also reaching its first target price. And I believe it's during Jaden's time I'm giving out that signal because I'm seeing something out of the US oil market. So I'm giving out that signal. So it's also reached the first price target as well for yesterday's VIP signal, guys. Okay, Alex expects a very good gold signal today. Okay, but honestly, guys, after giving the outlook, it seems it's kind of hard to see where the market is going currently. So we are more on the waiting side rather than forcing to trade. And the trade, if could go wrong, it's a much worse thing to do. So I'm giving out some waiting time to see how the market goes. But from my own outlook, I'm seeing it should be going downwards, guys. Okay. Can I analyze the crude oil tonight? Okay, I'll be looking through the crude oil. No, don't worry about that, friendly. And yes, that's true, Bernadette. Today's market estimates are starting to go crazy. Yes, that's true. We have some data coming up from the US ISM services and also the US ADP employment change and the initial jobless claims. So it will be during my live stream hours, so I'll be paying close attention at the last 15 minutes, guys. Okay. So the estimates are quite much for the US ADP employment change. So I'll be looking closely for that. And also the US initial jobless claims as well, guys. Okay. That should do it because those data will be coming out earlier, guys. Okay. And so yes, that's true. It feels like gold will fluctuate a lot in a while. Maybe not in a while, maybe in another 1 hours it should be happening, Lucas. Okay. So let me check back on the USD JPY as I promised, guys, because I'm seeing some good indications coming out of the Japanese yen market. And yes, that's true. It has been able to go down, and this signal actually has reached its price actions for twice during 20th of August and also reached the 2nd of September. It could be reapplied and reused, but I haven't been looking at it for quite some time. But my outlook is still the same. It's going downwards, and currently it's on a support level. So for this USD JPY, I won't be looking at it too much because it's currently on a rebound after going through a lot of going downwards. So I'll be more on the waiting side as usual. Okay, moving on to the AUD JPY should be one of the interesting ones from what has been going through this CAD JPY and AUD JPY, guys. Okay, but it seems that most of the currency pairs against the Japanese yen has gone through some quite of correctional phases, and even my buy signal only managed to reach the first price target, guys, during those times. But it seems I'm giving out the wrong number here. Okay, and it only managed to reach the first target price when I'm sharing this, and suddenly the Japanese yen had gone stronger, guys. Okay, let me check back on the CADJPY. Yes, it's currently all in the support level after dropping quite much over the last 2 days, dropping by almost 2 to 3% against all major currency pairs for the Japanese yen. So I'm not seeing any good signs to enter the trade, honestly, guys. Yep, it's all in a support area. So I won't be looking at it, guys, because it seems that it hasn't been able to give us some good signals, but I will be looking through the oil market. Okay, so the signal that I've been giving out should be going high, and it already reached the first price target, guys. And currently, what we are seeing is that the US oil market has been going lower. So what I will be doing is I'll be giving out a sell signal on the US oil from the current market movement that is going through after it didn't manage to break out of the $70 mark. So I'll be more paying close attention, and this could give us a much clearer signal on selling it, guys. Okay, because currently what we are seeing from the gold market, it hasn't been able to give us a clear signal. And right now, the best choice of action should be on the crude oil. So my outlook on oil, let me give you guys some intros. It has been going through some hard phases, and it's going to go through a downtrend quite much, and it seems that it's unable to break through this 70.6 resistance area after going through a lot of correctional phases. And right now what we are seeing, it could be going down furthermore, guys. Okay, so currently what we are seeing is oil prices has been going through this path, guys. Okay, so I'm thinking there's a possibility of a small rebound before it goes back down. But unfortunately, it seems that the strength coming out from the oil market hasn't been good for today, and it only managed to reach the first price target, which is a good thing. But afterwards, it hasn't been able to maintain that strength. So the idea of it could be going higher, but it didn't manage to do so. So one of the best cases we could try to short it since the strength of the rebound has gone away. And I've been waiting for more confirmations when it managed to broke down of this low, which is around 69.7. So if it managed to break down of 69.7, then I'll be giving the considerations of a sell positions on the oil market, because it seems the strength hasn't been able to continue, and it only managed to reach around near 70.6. The maximum was around 70.5. Okay, so what we are seeing is currently it could be going lower again, guys. So it's not on the same strength as we are seeing from gold, which has been quite strong. So as we can see, it has still able to hold on itself, still on an uptrend on a shorter time frame. But what I'm currently seeing, it's going to face some critical resistance area, 2520 and 2525, and it could be one or two things. If it managed to break out, then we'll buy it. If it goes down, we'll sell it. So we're currently on this zone where we are waiting for confirmations from the market. Okay, it seems like currently we are in this zone. while we are waiting for confirmation. Whether it could go higher beyond this, I will be buying it. If it's going lower, I'll be selling it. It's as simple as that. And currently we are in this phase where it could be trading around this area and didn't go anywhere. It could happen. It has happened over the last 3 hours. It has been trading on this range. And there's a possibility it could continue before the arrival of that US initial jobless claims. So have given out this signal. If it go below 25.13, you could be selling it. That's one of the case you can do. And the other thing you can do is you could buy it if it managed to break out of 25.18. Yeah, so that's the case. Okay, guys. Because if you're trying to even look at a shorter time frame, it won't be giving you a clear indications of where it's going. It's currently just bouncing back up and down, giving no clear signs of a good indications, guys. Okay, so I'll be more on the waiting side, honestly, guys. But from what I'm seeing, after such a huge jump, it could be probably heading lower. So that's why I'm giving out this sell signal if it managed to go below this 25.13. Okay. Yes, so I will be selling gold, honestly speaking, with a stop loss of 25.21 to make sure that any fluctuations could be handled. Okay, but I'll be more on the waiting sides, guys. Okay, because the entry prices should be below 25.13 to get that confirmation. Okay. Okay, guys. It seems it has started to move into that direction, which is a very good thing. So for Li Ting, if you are shorting gold, you probably can consider to hold on your trade because I'm seeing that possibility of it to continue to go down rather than go up. As we can see currently, it has gone through quite some of the rise since the Asian sessions and the London sessions. So I'm more advocating for a sell, guys. Okay, sell gold. Okay, so I'll be back on the lessons first, guys. There's a lot of things going on through other major currencies and as well as from the US side. Okay, so what we are seeing right now is from the Australia side, where we are seeing the real GDP was up by 1% from a year-to-year basis. Meanwhile, from the quarter to quarter, it's up by 0.2%, guys. Okay, so what we are seeing right now is there's a persistent on the weaknesses from a quarter to quarter basis, where it only managed to advance by 0.2% due to the help from the government spending. While growth slowed to 1% from a year earlier at 1.1%, because we can be seeing that it was lower than the previous year on the same month last year. So the weaker annual pace of growth for Australia economy, guys. And if you're looking at through from the decade average of 2.4% growth, it has been weakening due to the RBA tightening campaign where they are holding their interest rates at a high level. And making it worse, inflation is harder to fight due to the low productivity, and it's going to cost them harder. And even we are looking through as consumers are facing elevated borrowing costs and inflations as a result of low productivity and a high interest rate. As we can see out of from the government's data, household saving ratio is also at a low level, only by 0.6%, having slipped from a peak of 24.1% in June 2022 and underscoring the limited financial cushion available to Australians. And noting that we are seeing that household spending also fell by 0.2%, detracting 0.1% from the GDP growth. So just by household spending falling by 0.2%, real GDP on a quarter-to-quarter basis was reduced by 0.1%. So household spending is very important, and with a low household savings, it could impact Australia economy in the coming months, guys. And we see that the government spending climbed by 1.4%. That really helped to build that growth on Australia economy. And also it was led by health services program that lead to a 0.3% GDP growth. And we see the following details that service exports rose, but per capita GDP was falling down to 0.4%. Gross disposable income rose 0.9%, outpacing nominal gains, showing 0.2 real disposable income. But higher household earnings were partly set off due to income tax and higher mortgage payments. And as a result, that money markets start to review that the Reserve Bank will begin cutting rates in December. As a result, the currency and interest rate sensitive 3-year government bond yield hold onto their declines. So what we are seeing is that the currency and the interest rates are going lower because people are expecting that the Australian government, the RBA, is going to cut the interest rates sooner than expected. Because from the data coming out from the RBA governors, Michelle Bullock, she always stated that they will only be considering cutting interest rates at next year. But with the following expectations, people are starting to worry if they are holding interest rates longer, GDP growth will be gone. As we can see, the GDP growth has been falling down lower and lower on only just by 0.2%, and on a year-to-year basis on a 1%, on a quarter-to-quarter basis only by 0.2%, guys. And we can see that Australia saving has been diminished by a lot compared to the US counterparts and Canadian, where they still have quite a buffer, which is a multiples of the Australia household savings, guys. Okay, and what we are seeing from the data, inflation has been quite high compared to any other countries. For example, we can compare it to Euro, we can compare it to Canada, we can also even compare to their closest neighbor, which is New Zealand. And we are seeing that Australia inflation was still at around 3.9% compared to New Zealand, which is around 3.6%, guys. So that has been quite a burden for the Australia side. Okay. Okay. Let me check back the discussions first, guys. Shash, I'm worried that gold will be like yesterday. So I'm assuming that you are buying gold when it goes down and you're selling gold when it's going back upwards. Is that right, Shash? And yes, you can definitely make back your money, guys. Okay, so maybe I'll be just giving some short educations regarding trading. I know this will be boring for the pro traders, but it's very important for the new ones that if you're trading, you should be always managing your risk. Meaning is you couldn't be revenge trading when you're losing a lot of money. It's much better to calm down yourself and try to trade on a normal basis and trade with mathematical orders, meaning that whenever you do a trade, you need to trade per 1% of your portfolio or 0.5% of your equity rather than risking too much and losing too much, which you wouldn't be able to recover that kind of losses, guys. Okay, so it's very important for you guys to trade on a reasonable margin, guys. Okay, so that's my advice for you, Shash, so you won't be losing too much money whenever you are making a wrong decisions, because trading is a probability games, because you're trying to win the market on a long-term basis, not just for today, not just for tomorrow, not just for this week, guys. Okay, so it's very important for you guys to maintain your risk, make sure you have a trading plan, set up your risk, set up your reward very well, guys. Okay, so we are seeing currently that the gold is going down. So if you guys are not that patient, you can definitely have been taking the orders. I believe some of you guys usually do that, but my outlook for tonight's, it should be heading lower for a while, guys. But as usual, if I were you, I would be waiting for more confirmations, because currently it's just trading between 25.13 towards 25.18, where it hasn't been able to give us confirmations on where the gold is going, guys. Okay, Okay, let me check back on the oil side. Okay, so I had to say that I could be shorting oil, but currently it hasn't been able to give us some clear indications. It just also rebound around the same area as gold. As you can see, it was just trading around this area. So it hasn't been able to give us whether it could go higher, whether it could go lower. So I'll be more on the waiting side rather than rushing my decisions and causing unnecessary losses. Okay, guys. So I'll be more on the waiting side and see whether the market could be giving us some clear indications on the movement, guys. Okay, you can see that once it reaches around 2513.7, so that's why I'm giving out when it goes below 2513, because it's currently on a rebound back, guys. Okay, so we'll be waiting for it, waiting for the real confirmations. Okay, but currently I'm seeing some signs it could be going lower, guys. Okay, so that's why I'm giving out this signal rather than the buy signal. Okay, so due to the data released from the the AUD government, we can be seeing that Australian dollar could be heading lower, guys, due to that data coming out. Okay, it seems that it has been dropping quite fast right with my forecast, because I'm expecting that AUD could be falling down between here and then rebounding back later on, guys. As you guys can see from the charts that I've been drawing, I'm expecting that the Australia dollar against USD, AUD USD could be falling down towards this support area. Then it could be jumping back higher for a while, then continuing the lower phases of the downtrend, guys. As you guys can see, nothing has changed from what I've been drawing, guys. Okay, so currently it's still going through the downtrend, and people are expecting a lower Australian dollar in the future. So I'm expecting that it could be continuing lower, guys. Okay, maybe guys, I could be giving out some good signals out of the AUD USD, guys, because I'm seeing the signs of weaknesses still persisting on this Australia USD. But let me check back on the other pairs to see, is that happening just only on Australia dollar side, or is it happening? Oh, but let me give us. Okay, so it seems that US dollar is weakening even compared any other currency pairs. So I'm thinking there should be a good chances to do a short, maybe from the GBP USD or the Euro USD. But it seems the best case to trade right now, from what I'm seeing, could be coming up from GBP USD, guys. Okay, it seems that AUD USD could be also offering some good buffer with your stop losses at around 675. Currently it's at 672, aiming for the target of 66 9, 0.669 could be a good trading idea, guys. Okay, but this one could be giving us kind of a much better risk and reward ratio, guys. Yes, I think I'll be just giving out the signal coming out from the GBP side against US dollar. Probably I'll be checking on the other pairs. Yes, it seems that is the best case, guys. Okay, so GBP USD is it? It is. Okay, let me check back. Okay, but actually thinking back and look at the charts, I'm seeing some support level on the daily time frame. So I'll be more on the waiting side for now, but I could be giving out some signals later on, guys, because I see some rebounding phases after going through some correctional phase for almost all pairs that is against the US dollar. And currently it's on a support. I'll be more on the waiting side, honestly, guys, okay? Unless something changes. So if it goes below 1.315, then I could be making that executions of a sell signal GBP USD, and also from the AUD USD, I could also be giving it out. But currently, GBP USD could be offering a much better risk and reward ratio, guys, okay? So I'll be more on the waiting side, okay? But you get the idea that we are expecting a lower Australian dollar out of this data coming out, guys, okay? Moving back towards the slides, we will be talking through the Eurozone data, where we are receiving data from the service PMI and also composite PMI, which is the combinations of the service and the manufacturing sides of each country's PMI. And what we are seeing currently, so I'm making it simpler so you guys won't be seeing too much of it. And we are just giving you guys the conclusions out of the German side and French, which is the two biggest economy out of the Euro area, that it could be the best case scenario for Euro right now is the German economy is slowing down. As we can see that growth in Germany's services slowed down, as we can see from 51.4 to 51.2, and with the overall composite data, it's currently from 58.5 down to 58.4, showing that the slowness coming out from the German service sector, because we know that service sector is one of the side that could be making a comeback from every developed countries, as we can see from the UK side, also from the US side. It's also giving us some strength to make sure that okay, the economy is still doing well. But we can see out of Germany right now, they are still going through some weakening phases even on the services side, and we are still seeing employment falling down, contrasting with consistent job creation during the first year half. And without growth in the private service sector, which accounts for over 40% of the economy, Germany's economic picture would be grim, because we are still seeing from the overall composite data comprising services and manufacturing fell to 58.4 from 59.1 in July, slightly below a preliminary reading of 48.5. Meanwhile, total new businesses decreased to the greatest extent since March 2023, driven down by a sharp and accelerated drop in manufacturing new orders. So the conditions in Germany is very bad. Meanwhile, we are seeing some kind of different picture coming up from French side, where we're seeing that overall the French economy is still doing well, up from 52.7 to 53.1. Even from the services side, it's still going through some normal phases. But it's just a facade, where we are seeing the French services sector experience its best expansions in over 2 years, jumping to 55 from 50.1. So this data is wrong, guys, okay? So from 55 to 50.1 in July, marking the largest upswing in over 3 years and the highest level since May 2022, just because due to the Olympics and a modest rise in demand of the French Olympic Games, guys, okay? Despite the overall growth, the pace of job creation slowed for the fourth consecutive month, employment slipping back towards a 50 threshold mark, and input cost inflation eased to 39-month low, yet service providers yet charges more aggressively, with output price inflation accelerating compared with July. And we can see from the overall composite data, rose 53.1 from 49.1 in July. So I'm suspecting that this data is wrong. Okay, so it's from 49.1 to 53.1, which is driven exclusively by the service sector's strong performance. But it's due to the Olympics, guys. Okay, and business confidence still remains subdued, with political uncertainty dampening optimisms. and backlogs of work decreased at the fastest rates since early January this year, indicating less strain on firms' capacity, which means business are less on French economy side, and the rise in new orders was only primarily domestically driven, as new business from foreign customers decreased for straight 6 months, guys. Okay, so it's a bad conditions going through the French economy because we are seeing from the manufacturing side, it's still going through some tough phases because we are seeing that from the Europe's biggest economy, which is Germany, is still facing that kind of same fate. So I'm suspecting those kind of results and situations could be plaguing on the economy because economy is always interconnected to one another, guys. Okay, so this would be the data for you guys to see from the Germany services side. It's going downwards, and also from the service PMI of Germany, it's also going downwards. And this one is from the French side. It's also still showing us some signs of going downward as well, guys, and it's also going downwards as we can see. And okay, so that one would be from the Germany side, sorry guys. So this would be the composite PMI output index, meaning this is the data for the growth in the price inflation, and it's still going down. And also employment index is falling below the 50 level mark and even reaching the negative area. And it seems from the services area it's almost reaching below 50 mark, which is, if it's going below 50 mark, it's showing that it's going through a contractionary phase, which means the economy is not growing on the service side, it's not growing on the overall component composite, which is combining both manufacturing and services sector. So currently we are still seeing it's even gone below 50 on the overall data, guys. Meanwhile, from French, it's giving us a different outlook, but I'm suspecting it won't be holding longer, guys, as we can see that the French side is going upwards due to primarily on the service sector that is helping to bounce back the composite. As we can see, the composite managed to reach 55 after reaching just 49.1, and French services PMI managed to reach the same level at 55 level mark and giving us some kind of growth of around 0.7. And from the overall composite PMI data also growing by 0.5, primarily due to the services side, but I'm seeing that it couldn't be going longer for this trend because we are still seeing a stagnating economic side. It hasn't been able to pass through 60 benchmark level, as we can see, and we are still seeing that the possibility of the decline continuing later on after the end of the Paralympics, guys. Okay, so this is data to give you guys the clear outlook from the Eurozone, which will impact the Euro economy and definitely from the Euro currency as well, guys. Okay, so from what we are currently seeing now, is we are looking at a lower composite, which is the combinations of manufacturing and services from 51.2 to 51. Meanwhile, overall Eurozone area services are dropping down from 53 to 52.9, showing that decline. Even though Eurozone businesses received a boost from France hosting the Olympic Games last month, we are seeing that it jumped from 51 to 50.2. Okay, so that's from the data that we are receiving from the PMI data, but a contraction for a 6th consecutive month, yet below a preliminary of 51.2. But the malaise and the chaos in the Eurozone bloc is likely to return once the Paralympic is over, as the name still remains weak. Because what we are still seeing that the Olympic-driven rise in Eurozone composite PMI masking the underlying fundamental picture that the economy of the Eurozone is weak. The momentum of growth is still weak, guys. And what we are seeing, overall demand in the 20-member Euro currency area suggesting weakness are ahead because the composite new business index was below the 50 threshold mark. And a final PMI data showing that the service industry is jumping from 51.9 to 52.9, offsetting a continued contractions in the manufacturing sector. But optimism about the year ahead weighing among services firms, because business expectations index fell from 60.4 to 59.1, its lowest reading this year on the Euro side. Meanwhile, French services sector experienced its most robust expansions in over 2 years, but growth in Germany slowed for a third consecutive month in a further sign that Europe's biggest economy is losing power, guys. Okay, so with this data coming out from the Euro side and two of the biggest economy of Europe, which is Germany and French, we are seeing that there will be weaknesses in the economy coming ahead, guys. So that's one of the concerns, and it could be impacting the stock market and also the euro currency. And I'll be giving you guys that outlook later on. And we are seeing also from the Eurozone PPI, which is the Producer Price Index from a month-to-month basis rising, which means that inflation are still persistent on the producer side level. On a year-to-year basis, it's down from minus 3.2% to minus 2.1%, still showing some deflationary on a year-to-year basis, but from a month-to-month basis, it was the second straight month driven by higher energy prices that producer prices posted a monthly growth of 0.8% after a 0.6% gain, and prices were expected to grow just by 0.3%. So inflation side on the producer area of the euro side is going higher. Meanwhile, on a year-to-year basis, like I've explained, going down from minus 3.2 to minus 2.1, but it's lower than the forecast, guys, showing that high prices are still going on the euro area, especially from the producer side. As we can see, that the PMI data is still showing us a lower number and it's going down on a downtrend, guys. Meanwhile, from the composite index and comparing to the GDP, it's also going lower, guys. Okay, so it's showing us not that good signs. And also from the industrial producer prices, it's going higher, meaning inflation still persists on the euro area, where we can be seeing that most of the inflations are coming out from the energy side, where we're seeing that energy prices has been going down over the months comparing to the previous years. But on a month-to-month basis, the primary sources of the increase of the producer price index are coming from energy and capital goods. But other than that, overall we are still seeing some price increase from the capital goods, durable goods, and non-durable goods. But the main cause of it will be mainly primarily from the energy side, guys. Okay. So what can we use with that data on our trading side, guys? Okay, so what we can definitely use is we are knowing that Euro USD could be going lower with that expectations coming up. But the main problem is we are already losing the momentum. Why? Because I've already been sharing that outlook for the last weeks, guys, and I've been giving out sell signals on the euro currency, guys. It has been quite a long journey for this signal because I've given out quite a huge margin of target price, and it's already managed to reach its third target price, guys. And I even give out another sell signal when I do see there's a possibility of a lower prices going on. But from the current market and from what I can be seeing, it's going through some rebound phases as I've drawn on the last 2 weeks. After reaching this area of 1.104, it could be rebounding back towards 1.111 before going back lower, guys. But from what I'm currently seeing from the market, it could be going down faster and bouncing back a little bit faster than expected, and it could be continuing that downward phases due to the fact that what I'm seeing currently is the euro is on a 13-month high against the US dollar. So it's currently reaching the resistance area on a daily time frame. So that's one of the signs where I'm looking that it could be going lower for the euro side, guys. Okay. And currently what we are seeing, it could be continuing that lower, going down. But currently what we are looking at is it's rebounding after such a huge drop, especially with the coming back of the US dollar weakening on today. So I'm expecting they could be just rebounding back towards 1.11, and then it could be continuing going lower later on, guys. But currently I'm not seeing any clear signs for a sell signal because currently the market is rebounding back after going through a correctional phase and it's just rebounding back for a while, then it will be continuing it. But from what I'm seeing right now, there isn't any clear chances to do that sell signal because it's not giving us kind of good signs of the going downtrend on the Euro USD. So I'll be more on the waiting side, probably after breaking down this trend line, guys. Okay, it could be one of the entry points that we can be looking for. So if it goes below this 1.109, it could be the indications to sell Euro USD, guys. If it broke down below 1.109. But currently I'm still looking through another 55 pips or 50 pips. So I'll be more on the waiting side, waiting for confirmations of it to broke down and continue that downtrend on the overall trend, guys. Okay. But before that, I'll be more on the waiting side. Because if you're rushing it, you could be heading towards a wrong decision making, guys. Okay. As you can see, for most of the currency, it started to also rebound back, guys. So that's what I'm worried about, especially if you're trading on the currency pairs. It's usually more likely to go for a sideways unless something changes on the market, which usually needs a longer waiting time compared to commodity side, guys. Okay. Okay. So I've been giving out my outlook on gold, and what I'm seeing currently, guys, is gold couldn't be going higher right now, guys, from what I'm looking at, because it's currently just trading around this area, 25.13 towards 25.18, which I'm currently not looking at a good trading area, guys, honestly speaking. So my advice for the gold, on a longer term basis, it should be continuing that uptrend. But currently I'm seeing weaknesses on the gold rise because it's just rising on a low volume, which is never a good thing when you're looking for a green candle, because you need a strong volume on a good closing day later on. And currently it's still trading just half of yesterday's trading volume, and it hasn't been able to surpass that 20 moving average of the volume side, guys. And we are still looking through some important resistance area, for example 2520 and 2525. So I'm looking at it could be harder for gold prices to break through unless something really positive came out for the gold. For example, an aggressive rate cut on the US Fed rate. So if the Fed rate decided to cut interest rates by 0.5%, it could be going higher than 25.25. But until that happens, or until there is confirmations of the rate cut, I'm afraid that it just would be trading below 25.25 or 25.20, guys. Okay. So my advice, if you guys haven't hold a position yet, I'm suggesting you guys to wait. That's the best case scenario for now, because currently, if you're expecting a huge movement, especially if you're a short-term trader, there won't be a lot of movement, guys, because whenever it reaches 25.13, even before my signal could be executed, it rebounded back towards 25.15, 25.16, and it's the best case for you guys to wait right now, okay? Honestly speaking, I'm looking at there's a possibility of gold could be bearish, guys, because over the last 2 to 3 days, I'm giving out sell signals at 2,500, at 2,498, and since then, it already reached the third target price, guys. Okay, so for you guys to see, actually, I've been sharing it the last 2 to 3 days on the sell signals. Okay. So this is the signal that I've been sharing over the last 2 days, and I'm giving it these indications whenever it go down below this, and it managed to even reach the third target price for yesterday's signal, guys. Okay, but currently, from what I'm looking at the market is, after such a huge drop down, and we are seeing that gold is still on a good uptrend. That's why it's very easy for gold to continue back on upwards. But currently what we are seeing is the upward momentum has started to slow down in the last few hours. So even my outlook is, if it didn't able to manage to break out of 2520 or 2525, I would be bearish on gold. So as long as gold didn't break out of 2520, 2525, I will still be bearish. But once it managed to break out of 2525, I will be bullish on gold until something happens on the price actions, guys. Which until it happens, I couldn't predict it, guys. Okay, so I'll be waiting for more confirmations on the price actions. And currently, I'm not seeing good signs that it can continue that uptrend momentum from the Asian sessions. So that's my advice for you. If you haven't hold a position, it's much better to wait. If it goes beyond 2518, you can buy. If it goes below 2513, you can sell it. But if you guys are holding your sell positions, I will be advising you to hold it and cut your losses above 2520. And if you're not holding anything, you should be just waiting for these confirmations and sell gold when it goes below 2530. Okay, there we go, guys. Okay, so let me get back to the lessons first. We have something coming out from the GPB side. As we know that yesterday we have a data coming out from the UK service PMI, all showing good data as expected, because we are seeing that the UK economy is doing very well, where we are seeing that a sustained momentum in employment and also additional hiring in both manufacturing and services sector, guys. And inflationary pressures also cooled in August, with private sectors indicating the weakest rise in inflation costs since November 2020. Meanwhile, from the services side, it grew last month at the fastest pace since April, and price pressure eased, with the SP Global UK Services PMI data rose to 53.7 from 52.5 in July, above a preliminary estimate of 53.3. It really gives us a slower and lower inflation outlook, with a settling economic growth after July's elections, and the recovery in UK service sector performance, improving economic conditions, and a political stability improve customers' demand. As cost pressure for service companies and selling prices also ease at the lowest pace since early 2021, that it will be something that will be welcomed by the Bank of England, where they will be announcing an interest rate decisions on September 19, and a hope of interest rate cuts and steady improvements will help support confidence. But some firms also cited some concerns of political uncertainty towards the autumn budget. So in conclusion, we're still seeing a very strong, healthy economy out of the UK side, because we are already seeing that recessionary sides of the UK at 2021. As we can see from this graph, it has been going through some tough phases during the early 2021, while most of the UK economy hasn't been going through those movements. Okay, it seems that I've received notifications on the ADP data employment. So I'll be looking at the gold prices and see what has happened on, guys. Okay, so it's actually negative. It means that people are getting less employed, meaning that the employment market is weakening. There's a possibility that the US Fed will be cutting rates faster. But it seems that it hasn't been doing a lot on the market with that kind of data, guys. So I'm not seeing any real movement coming out as well. Unless it break out of 2518, then you could be buying it. But before that happens, I will be more on the waiting side, guys. Okay. Because it just managed to touch 2519, then it slowed down in momentum, guys. Okay, so I haven't seen any clear indications. It could be going higher, it could be going lower. Until that happens, I will be more on the waiting side, guys, honestly speaking. And it still could be going lower, guys. Okay, So nothing no big surprises coming up with that kind of data release. But we do know that US dollar is falling down, which could be a positive news for the US dollar, but it seems that it didn't budge a lot. So we'll be waiting for the US initial jobless claims later on in another 13 minutes to see the reactions out of gold. So with that kind of news coming up, I will be giving out another buy signal just in case it suddenly go beyond 25.20. Okay, so for Hagel, your short buy order, meaning you're still selling gold. Yes, you could be holding on it, but until that happens, you can maybe cut your losses near your average prices. But you can see currently the market hasn't been moving a lot, honestly, guys. So I will be more on the waiting side rather than, because currently it will be just trading around 25.13 to 25.18, 25.19, and I didn't see any clear market indications that it could go beyond that right now. So I'm just giving this in case the data for the US initial jobless claim will be positive, guys, okay? And other than that, if the initial jobless claims were higher, that could mean it would be positive for gold. But the data from the ADP showing that, okay, it seems that the strength is not continuing at all, guys, okay? Yes, that's right, Koi. I didn't see any much movement and it's still in line with my forecast because it's just trading beyond these ranges and it didn't give any confirmations on my side as well, guys, okay? So I'll be more on the waiting side and see what goes on later on, okay? So no worry on that. Feeling like rising, but honestly from my chart it seems like it's just trading on the sideways, guys, okay? I'm not looking at big momentums coming on right now. It seems that it's just trading on those market movements. So I'll be suggesting you to cut losses if it broke out beyond 25.20, but before breaking above 25.20, I'm not seeing that possibility of going higher, guys, okay? So I'm just giving out this signal in case it goes above 25.20, but I will be still more on this side rather than 25.20 because I'm still seeing the possibility of it going down could be higher from my side, guys, okay? I'll be back on the lessons first, guys. So we are seeing that the UK economy is doing very well and it's going higher and higher from the GDP side and also from the UK composite indexes. Service PMI is also going up and index of services is also showing us a slower inflationary side. Okay, the next news will be coming out from the BOC, and I think I've given out the GPB outlook where okay. It seems that there has been some movement, so it seems that it will be breaking out of the 25.19. Okay, but let us wait to see until it happens because until it really broke out of that 25.19, I wouldn't be suggesting anything, guys. Okay. Okay, it seems it just touched 25.19 and then going weaker for a while. I will be looking later on, but this signal could be executed when it reach the conditions I've set, guys, okay? Until that happens, I'm not seeing anything going on. Okay, let me check on the silver side. Okay, it seems that it's the same case for even silver. It didn't manage to break out of the resistance area. And also from the oil side, it also didn't manage to break out the resistance area. So it's the same case for all the commodity sides, guys, okay? Okay. You should be buying gold right now, guys, okay? I mean buy gold. Sorry, guys. Buy gold. because it already managed to break out the 2520, guys. Okay. Okay, then I will be going back to the lessons, and this signal has been executed, guys. Okay. So on the GBP USD side, if there's a possibility of a weakening, it could be happening later on, guys, September 19. But from the current market movement on the GBP side, since the strengthening of the US dollar over the last few days, it has managed to draw down the GBP USD. And since then, I haven't given out any sell signal because I'm looking at GBP still going stronger later on, guys. Because with the strengthness of the UK economy, there's a possibility that the GBP will be going higher and higher. But before that happens, it's a very normal market reactions to have a corrections, then it could going back higher, guys. So I'm seeing that it's trying to break out of the resistance, and it will be doing in a close moment of times. So I'll be giving out a buy signal for the GBP USD, guys, because we are seeing that US dollar is going weaker with the arrival of that lower employment data out of the ADP. So I'll be giving out this buy signal. Cut your losses below the resistance 1313. And I think the same price target can be reused. Okay, so I'm seeing some bullish shines coming out from the GBP side. Okay, that is one of the signals I could be seeing, guys. Okay, it seems that it has managed to drop back down, but it hasn't reached the stop loss, so we'll be letting the trading plan to work on its own, guys. Okay, so don't worry about it a lot. We'll be making the market to move later on, guys. Okay, so I'll be back on the lessons first because I've still some of the materials to discuss, and this is coming out from BOC. So I'll be giving you guys a big conclusions out of this notes, that what we are seeing right now is the governor of Bank of Canada reduced the benchmark interest rates towards 4.25% from previous 4.5%, seeing that inflation has going down a lot. And they didn't change a lot on their stance on reducing the interest rates and highlight the central bank's focus on reducing inflations as they cut rates. And they now see little evidence of a higher price increase, guys. Okay, so that's why they reduce the interest rates, and they will be comfortable on gradually loosening their monetary policy as they will be engineering a soft landing of the economy and undershooting and still concerned about reaching this 2% inflation target. And if anything happens beyond their expectations, let's say if inflation goes weaker faster, economy is weakening faster, they could be cutting interest rates bigger than 25 basis point like the one they have been using. But they will see there's a risk that is on inflation could be stronger as other services and shelter are still holding up the inflation side. And they could be seeing some base effects pump up on inflation later on 2025. But the government acknowledged that GDP has been growing faster because due to the government spending. But from the overall public spending, it has been weakening. As we can see, the labor market weakens, and also productivity gains for and it is also an issue, guys. Okay, and we can see out of the Canadian consumers are already feeling the pain of higher borrowing costs, and per capita household consumption is falling at a faster pace only usually seen in recessions. And it's the overall growth economy is just popped up by the record immigration and a wave of mortgages that are set to renew at a much higher levels. As a result, most of the economists surveyed see that there's a possibility of a 0.25% rate cut at the next fall meeting, with the policy rate falling to 3% level. And as a result, Canadian dollar rose, which is kind of an unusual thing because with a rate cut, it's usually going to be negative for the currency. But overall, we are still seeing that there are some bad signs of the economy and inflations, and that's why the government decided to cut interest rates because they don't want to sacrifice the economy just to achieve 2% inflation target rate. As we can see here, inflation has been going downwards. I mean, this is the interest rates. They are cutting interest rates where we are seeing inflation is going down. As we can see from this side, it's going down. Meanwhile, unemployment is going up. So this is the big concerns, and it's also one of the things that US government looking at. So this data where the GDP is rising, where it's mostly due to the government spending, guys. And as a result, the Canadian dollar is going stronger. As we can see, it bounced back just by a little during the release of this data, guys. But overall, we are seeing just now out of the charts of the USD CAD, it hasn't been moving a lot. It's just going through that momentum on the previous movements of the last few weeks, and currently we're not seeing any significant movement coming out from the USD Canadian dollar. Okay, moving on to the US factory orders. So it's a positive news coming out of it. It's from a negative minus 3.3, now it's 5%, but it's mostly due to the defense aircraft, to the government spending. Because we are seeing that demand elsewhere are moderating as higher borrowing costs showed it increased 5% for the US factory orders. But we are seeing that most of it are delivered by the defense aircraft and parts ordered, soaring by 12.9. But other than that, it just rose by 0.4% after gaining by just 0.1%. As a result of it, shipment increased 1.1%, unfilled orders increased by 0.2%. And the Bureau's data also revised some data for the US core durable goods. And also, you can see that it's down to 9.8% from a 9.9% data. As you can see, it's showing some good signs from the manufacturing sides of the US side. It was going higher from the previous lower numbers. Okay, so that's one of the good things coming out from the US side. Okay, so I do feel I know that there is a data coming out from the US initial jobless claims, so we'll be looking at it to see whether it's a positive news or it's a negative news. Okay, it seems that the gold has been moving quite a lot. US initial jobless claims are lower. Okay, so it seems that these two signs are giving us kind of a mixed indications where we are seeing the initial jobless claims are actually lower even than the forecasted, meaning that employment market is still going well from this data, guys, because this is the data where people file if they are jobless. Okay, so it seems that the market couldn't be going anywhere right now, guys, because it's just trading on this 25.20, 25.13. Okay, so we will be looking at it. So it seems that we are just getting a false breakout from this market, guys. Okay, so that's one of the first thing I would be saying. And but we are still seeing that there's an uptrend, but since this signal has been executed, guys, because when it break out of it has been executed, but other than that, I'm not seeing any huge momentum going on. It's not going higher, it's not going lower faster even. So it seems that it wasn't a good, interesting case on the gold side for today. Okay, but probably it will be moving a lot with the arrival of the US ISM services data later on, guys. Okay, so with the arrival of this data, I will be more on the waiting side. If you guys haven't executed the trade, I will be waiting for more confirmations on the market if it could go higher than 25, 21, higher than this, it could be going higher. But right now, it's just trading on this range, which isn't a very good trading idea. Just to trade $3 to $4, which is not my usual trading style, guys. Okay, so this, if you haven't executed at Opal, you could wait when it break out of 25, 21. But I'm still looking at it. It seems that it has some strength going upwards, so it's more likely to go upwards, guys. Okay, so for this signal to be executed, it will be much harder for now. Okay, so it's more likely to be a buy signal for now, guys. Okay, buy gold, as it seems that the momentum has arrived for gold to go up. Because if we're looking at silver, it's also going up, but it's not yet breaking the resistance, so we'll be looking closely. But yes, it could be a positive news for most of the commodity sides, and it seems that also from the crude oil, it's also going higher. Okay, so this signal wouldn't be executed, and since most of you guys who have followed the live stream could be executing this trade, so you guys can just hold the trade. If you guys haven't executed it, you can do it later on, guys. Okay, since it's still around that entry prices, so you could do this trade for now. Okay, I'll be continuing the slides for the last few minutes. If you guys have any other questions, you can let me know on the discussions. But other than that, I'll be continuing to give you guys the conclusions of yesterday US JOLT data, showing us that employment market is weakening and it's falling to the lowest level since the start of 2021 as layoffs rose consistent with the slowing demand of workers. As we can see, it's lower to 7.67 million from a downwardly revised 7.91, and the number of layoffs also rose to 1.76 million, and it's the highest number since last year 2023. And at the same time, hiring picked up at the slowest level since April 2020, but opening fell in healthcare and state and local government, and also as well as trade and transportation. And the overall data, we are seeing that vacancies per unemployed workers at the lowest level, meaning that there is no demand for the workers, so that's a bad thing. And even the quit rates are also edging higher, and it's also near the lowest level since 2020, meaning people are less confident in their ability to find a new position. And the decline in openings coincide with the data labor market is softening, job growth has been slowing, and unemployment is rising. So as a result, people are expecting a higher rate cut as a result of this, and people are already building up wages on a supersized rate cut this year, because we are seeing that the inverted yield curve has managed to uninvert it for a while as a result of the arrival of this US JOLT data, guys. As we can see, level of job openings showing the demand for workers are low, and level of layoffs are high, as we can see here. And as we can see, traders are boosting bets on the jumbo September US rate cuts. People are expecting higher rate cuts on the coming months on the US Fed rate, guys. As we can see, the yield curve have almost started to uninvert it, meaning that it started to give out some positive data where the 2-year treasury notes could be higher than the 10-year treasury yield. Yeah. Okay. And the data is also showing that same signs from the PageBook survey, showing that employers were more selective in their hires among an uncertainty economic outlook, and job seekers said finding employment was becoming more difficult and taking longer. And even Jerome Powell praised this PageBook data, and he will take this data seriously. And we are looking at the number of districts reporting flat declining activity, showing the declining economy, and also people are also more selective, which means people are not hiring people a lot, guys. Okay, because we are still seeing some signs that people are cutting shifts, meaning lower working hours, lower wages, and it's not a good signs for the economy, guys. And we can see jobs opening, but unemployment is going down. Unemployment rate is going highest, the highest since 2021. As a result of this, the inflation has been going down. So the concern for the US government is the unemployment rate later, guys. And this has been voiced by Rafael Bostic that it's now on balance for the very first time for the inflations, and now they are worried about the stable job markets, which is continue to weakening, but it's not weak from Bostic, and he will be voting on the FOMC. So he is also moving up the timeline for the cutting interest rates from his remark last week. So it seems that most of the things going on is going positive for US rate cuts in the future, guys. Okay. So as usual, pay attention to your trading plan, your entry prices, stop losses, position sizing, and your trading stop losses. And if you have any other questions, I believe that most of you guys would have asked me for now, but it seems that there is no other questions. I will be handing over to Jaden, where most of the questions will be answered by him. If you guys have any other questions, and if you guys want to get more exclusive trading plans outside the live streaming, you can register yourself as a member. Okay, so I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow, and tomorrow it will be the last day of this week, and it seems this week has been kind of a volatile market, hasn't been able to show some clear directions, but it's a very normal situations where September is usually a hard market to trade with the volatility rising in most of the markets, especially in the stock market as well, guys. Okay, so I'll be ending today's live stream. I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow on tomorrow's live stream. Bye.
Okay, so let's begin to the live session. So let's do a deep analysis on the gold market. Okay, so the gold market has been going through an uptrend. So yesterday we already mentioned that the price will be going where? Going on the low sides, and then the price is going higher because we already mentioned that this is the manipulations, the lowest of the week, time and price. Okay, in ICT, SMC, time and price is really important. So what does it mean by that? So meaning by if your weekly bias is along, usually the price will be pushing lower first and then continue going higher, just like a candlestick. Okay, you will knew that every candlesticks has a wick below of it. So for example, this is the wick, the the okay So if your bias is going lower, the price usually will be going pushing lower first, and then eventually the price will be going higher. So for example, like this, we can see that our bias is much more on the long sides, and then the price has been pushing lower. After that, what is happening? The price has been going higher. Once the price has been breaking through a certain manipulations or a, a strong uh, area of liquidations, what does it mean? A lot of people will be thinking that once the price has been breaking through this area, the price will be continue going lower. Is it true? Okay, a lot of people will be thinking that once the price of this candlestick pushing below, it's likely to continue going lower and reaching to this and going much more lower. But eventually the price is going this and becoming a wick. So for example, you can see that the price has been forming a wick and it's likely to going continue higher. Okay, so because of that, yesterday we already mentioned that the price is definitely going higher, and it shows signs that the price of manipulations has been formed. Okay, using on the 1 hour time frame, we already mentioned that the price has been breaking through a certain area. If you still remember what I'm saying, has been great, grabbing liquidity, and this is a really good setup that going lower. Even though we already mentioned that we are doing shorts. If you still remember yesterday, we are trying to do shorts, even though we've been swiped out 2 times. If you remember, we have been swiped out 2 times, but eventually the price is going lower. After that, the price has been reaching higher and continue going higher. This is a really good setup as well. I think it's on midnight, so I haven't reached it. I haven't give out the signal, but I have been putting down this area. I was hoping that the price will be going lower in this morning, and then afterwards will be giving us an entry. But from what we can see right now is that the price has been here, and then the continue going higher and reaching through a new high in a certain area. Okay, so right now we can see that it seems like the price has been continue going higher and higher and likely to break through this area. Okay, grabbing liquidity. So in the bigger time frame, what we can see, okay, we can see that the price is going to internal to internal. Okay, so the internal side and internal side, and this is the external. So you can see that I have been putting the arrow from here, the external line. So it's likely to breaking through this area. Okay, from the daily bias, we also can see that this is the fair value gap and also the external to internal, and here it's the internal to internal. Okay, once the price has been breaking through a certain area, it's likely to see that price is breaking through here. A lot of people will be doing shorts, but eventually the price is going higher. From the monthly perspective, we already mentioned that the price is definitely going higher because the price last month has been breaking through this line, so it's slightly likely that the price will be closing below and likely high probability and high probability showing signs that the price will be breaking through a new high. Because of that, today we are actually planning to do long, but the setup haven't given yet. Okay, I was thinking that if the price do really give us a setup, once the price giving us a setup, reaching back to this area, I will be trying to do long, but it seems like the price has been going higher. I was waiting for the London sections because London sections usually will be giving us the lowest of the week, I mean lowest of the day, but eventually, this has been happening on the Asian sections. I think in the early 8 or 9 p.m., 9 a.m., the price has been reaching back and going to the highest point. So right now, we can't do long, to be honest. It's really, really, I mean, we can't do shorts. It's really, really risky, and the bias is continue going higher. So right now, what we can do is we will be using a really, really small time frame to try to see if we can gain a small profits in the time right now, because what our expectation is that the price will be eventually going back to this area. There's a high probability that the price has been reaching through this area. Right now, it seems like the price will be rebalancing out. So what we can see, the price has been the up move before the down move. So from the 4 hour time frame, what we can see that the price has been reaching through this order block. Seems like the price is showing signs of going lower. If that really happens, I think it's signs of going on the shorter sides. Okay, so to be fair, okay, to be fair, I need to say something really important. Okay, so once the price has been breaking through the last week low, okay, this is a really great information. Once the price has been breaking through the last week low, it's really likely that the price might be breaking through this high. Okay, so what we can see. Okay, so for example, let's see. Okay, so yeah, for example, um, okay, so for example, what we can see right here, this is the highest of the week, this is the lowest of the week. Once the price has been breaking through the highest of the week, it's less likely will be breaking through this area. Same goes to here, highest of the week, lowest of the week. Once the price has been breaking through, it's really unlikely that the price will be coming back. So right now, I think we have some pointers showing signs of going lower. I think we are eventually will be much more cautious about trading gold right now because it's really near on the highest of the week. It's this area. So as you can see, this is the highest of the week. There's probability that the price will be reaching through, but it's from what we can see, most likely might be giving us a big retracement. So right now, it seems like doing long in the bottom side it will be much more easy to easy what I can see. So right now we need to see a breakthrough. So right now it's not a really good time to do long or maybe do shorts. We need to have more informations right now. Okay, so it's likely to see that the price might be breaking through this, but it's not really likely will be happening this week because the price has been breaking through the lowest of the last week. Okay, you can see the price has been breaking through, so it's not really likely to go back to this area. So you can see from here as well, once the price has been breaking through the lowest last week low, it's unlikely will be going back. Also the same, haven't break through yet, going higher. Also the same, going lower and haven't break through yet. And see, it's continued to form as well. So right here you can see, but there's also the thing that might be happening. It's this also will be hitting two times, but from the higher probability standpoint, it's not really often will be happening that will be hitting the lowest and also the highest. If that really happens, it's really showing indicate that a really upwards trend it's coming. So maybe will become, but right now I will be probably waiting for a bottom line first. Only then I might be trading on the longer sides for dollar range. So $50 range is really important. Okay, so you can see that the price has been reaching through the $50 range, and then afterwards the has been through a resistant area. So I really unlikely to do long in this area, to be honest. I will probably waiting for the price to reaching through this rebalance phase, and then I might be continue doing long. So right now, definitely might be doing shorts will be much more beneficial to what I can say. And from what we can see that today price has been reaching through the new high. So you can see that this is also a daily candlestick. So this is the lowest of the week and then highest. So once the price has been reaching through the high, we need to see which indications has been showing a resistant area. So right now we can see that the price has been reaching through. I won't be doing shorts right now, to be honest. I need to have much more confirmations. So right now we can see that the bullish is still intact, but once the price has been going through this area, it's likely to continue going lower. Okay, so I think it's not really a good time to do trading on gold right now. It's quite hard to do. It's probably uh quite hard to do right now. Doing long, it's not a really good move. Doing shorts might be a good move, but you're not so sure about putting which stop loss you are putting on. So I'm really conservative right now. I won't be trading, but I will be continue monitor, see is there any signs of continue going lower. Okay, so let's do a top-down analysis on the silver market. So if you still remember what I'm speaking of about, we usually will be using ICT three methods, the market maker, model and also the liquidations. You need to know that market move will be reaching through towards a liquidations to another liquidity. So for example, once the price has been grabbing this liquidity, it's likely to go back to rebalance and then afterwards we will continue going higher. So we need to know the liquidations is going on, what is going on in the breaker time frame. So let's close out everything and let's do a top-down analysis from everyone else. Okay, so from the monthly perspective, we can see that once the price has been breaking through this area, okay, this area, this liquidations area, it's really unlikely that the price will be continue going higher because you need to know that every uptrends need to rest, okay, like a spring. If you want to if the spring need to jump higher, it's need to press in the bottom line and then spring again. It's unlikely that the spring will be continue jumping and higher in the certain method. Need to once the price has been reaching through a certain uh, place, the spring will be pressing again and will be jumping again. So for example, right here, the spring has been jumping and then pushing higher, and then right now it's jumping and pushing higher. So right now what we can see is pushing lower, and then after that will be continue higher. So ICT or everything SMC, it's likely to show that you need to know what is going on, when is the market is going through a rebalancing, when is market through going through a liquidations, and when we can trade using these informations. Okay, once we can see that the price has been reaching through this monthly liquidations, it's likely to see that the price will be giving us a rebalance. Okay, because this is a monthly time frame, so we can't do anything right here. To be honest, we'll be using the daily time frame. So once the daily time frame has been giving us a manipulations and then displacement rebalancing, and then you can see that the price is going lower. But right now we can see that the price has been reaching through market maker buyer model, breaking through this area, reaching through. So this is a break of structure, rebalancing out. So it's likely to see the price is going higher as well. So we can see that it's on point using the higher time frame, weekly time frame, or everything. You can see it's really intact with it. Okay, so once the price has been reaching through, this price is going through rebalance. So the next thing will be thinking that where is the area that the price will be going to? Where is the spring will be placing to? And then after that will be going a higher place. Okay, so for example, we need to know that discount area. Okay, so the discount area usually will be the 50% point. So once the price has been reaching through the 50 point, it's likely to see that this is the discount area and likely to going through the bottom. So we'll be using the daily time frame to see is there any supporting area for fair value gaps or any order blocks and so on. Okay, if we can't see anything, then we'll be using a smaller time frame. Okay, if there's there's definitely there's definitely got any fair value gaps and everything else. So you can see that the price is reaching through this fair value gap. Can you see it? Okay, looking through the daily time frame, we can see that the price has been reaching through this fair value gap area. Okay, so once the price has been reaching through this area fair value gap area, what does it mean by that? Once the price has been liquidations from this area, it's likely to give us some kind of clue. So right here, what we need to look about. So right here, we need to use a smaller time frame, maybe a 1 hour time frame. Okay, so 1 hour time frame, we need to see a break of structure, manipulations, displacement, external to internal. Okay, so what we can see right here, the manipulations phase. So we can see that the price has been manipulated here. Okay, so once the price has been manipulation here, if you are really aggressive, you can trade here, but not really recommended. But once the price has been breaking through this, forming a displacement from here, then we can expectations that the price is going a rebalancing. So right here, what we can see, the price has been grabbing these liquidations. Once the price has been grabbing liquidations, what will happen? As I already mentioned, the spring will be happening. Okay, so will be balanced and place it a spring area. So right here, which area is this? This is the 1 hour time frame. So we'll be using a 1 hour time frame order block as well. So you can see that this area from this area will be the 1 hour order block. So where is it? 50%. So where we can see it here? You can see that it's a sniper entry. Okay. Even though this might be sniping off, but you can see that this was a really good supporting area. And then after that, the price has been eventually pushing lower, pushing a a supporting area. And what will happen afterwards, the price will be continue going higher and higher, and in a certain time the price will be reaching through this area. Okay, well, you can see that the price has been going lower and then grabbing back to this area and then continue going higher. So it seems like the price is continue going higher and higher, higher and higher. So right now here you might be manipulate out. To be honest, I might be also manipulate out, because I might be thought thinking that this is the lowest, and eventually the price will be reaching through this area. Okay, this liquidations area. But the price is definitely showing signs of the fair value gap, liquidations, grabbing liquidations, and then going out, going back, and then continue going higher. So you need to know is where is the spring, where is the price is going towards the liquidity area. Once you know that it's likely to go through here, then you will be knowing that where is likely to go back to rebalancing, likely to go through anything, and then afterwards you can looking a really good key line that where do I need to trade, and where is possibility that it's going higher, going lower, and where do I need to trade. Time and price is really important. So for example, if you are thinking that this week forming is forming a trend. For example, we have accumulations, manipulations. Then we already mentioned that we are likely to see that the price is going higher. So once we already mentioned that price give us higher will be usually will be forming this week, a week, a candlestick week. Okay, week, not week. Okay, it's a week. So it's this. So once the price has been forming this, you need to know when will be happening. Usually we'll be grabbing certain liquidations, like for example here. So once the price has been grabbing, pushing higher, then you are likely to see that this is going through the lower sides, and then you can put your SL below and make it higher or even much more higher to here or here. It depends on how you trade on the longer time frame and shorter time frame. So once the price has been reaching through towards this area, you can see that the price has been forming back to this liquidations, the order block. So once the price has been going back to the order block, what does it mean? We'll be usually rebalancing back. So rebalancing it and then continue going up. Once the price has been reaching through a certain liquidations, then a big rebalance will be happening. So right now we can see that this is a big rebalancing. The price has been reaching through 50%, grabbing liquidations, going lower, reaching through this order block from the daily time frame. We can see that the price has been reaching through the order block in the in the in the daily time frame. You can see, and then it's likely to go higher, and in the meantime it's likely to reaching through this area in the in the monthly perspective. So we might be expected that this is the lowest of the month, and time and price are showing signs of going higher. Okay, so we have already have a bias. So right now we'll be using a 1 hour time frame. So once the price has been breaking through, grabbing liquidations, grabbing higher, so we are currently will be waiting for a rebalancing as well. So right now we'll be waiting for the price to reaching through this area, and then we'll be continue doing long positions afterwards. So you need to know what is going on. Okay, usually the market will be giving us a really good time in certain area. You just need to be patient and the time will come. Okay, so as we already mentioned, this is the lowest of the week. The price has been reaching through the lowest of the week last week. It's not really likely that the price will be breaking through here in a certain time area. I'm expecting on. So what I'm thinking that is the price might be reaching through a rebalancing afterwards. So it's not a really good time to do long. So I already mentioned it's not a really good time to do long. It's likely to go through a rebalancing out, because it's not really likely that the price will be breaking through this week. We are gathering data and we'll be showing you guys. Okay, it's not really likely to happen. It might be, but from the data we can see, for example, okay, this one is going higher, and this is haven't reached too high or low. But once the price has been reaching low, it's not really likely that the price will be breaking through here. So for example, here as well, reaching through, not going back above, not going lower, but also might be happening right here, but you can see what you will know what I mean. Okay, but this also happening as well. You can see that reaching high, breaking through the weekly high, and then afterwards has been going the weekly low. But it's not really likely will be happen this kind of cases in a bigger time frame. But let's see how it turns out. But if I'm trading gold right now, I will be definitely waiting for a rebalancing, or maybe I can try to do short positions to be honest, because the price has been reaching through a certain area, and I think I will be waiting for a manipulation displacement, and this displacement need to be a really strong displacement. For example, breaking through this area, a strong displacement afterwards, breaking through this fair value gap as well, and then afterwards I will be trying to do short positions, and maybe I will be trying to aiming at least this 50% or even much more lower. I think I will be probably aiming this area, because this area I think a lot of people will be doing long, so it's likely to break through this area as well. So once the price has been displacement, giving us a manipulation displacement, breaking through the next the uptrend momentum, then I think I can try to do shorts afterwards. Right now it's not a really good time either to do long or either to do shorts, to be honest, because you can see that the price has been manipulated out. So is it possible to do long right now? I'm not really think so, because it's equal low. As I already mentioned, equal low usually will be breaking through, because a lot of people will be doing long in this area. So it's likely to breaking through. So I won't be doing long. If I want to do long, I might need to wait for the price to react. For example, if I want to do long, I will be wait for the price to breaking through this and forming back, rebalancing out. Then I might be trying to do long, because it's still intact on the long positions. So right now it's not a really good time to do long or even do shorts. Need to have more informations, see what is going on after that, and then see and let the market tell us to do, and I will be trying to do afterwards. Okay, for the GBUSD, if you still remember, as I already mentioned, it's going higher. It's really quite upsetting that we didn't even try to do positions right now. Okay, right now, right here, it's really quite upsetting, to be honest. Yesterday even really quite focusing on GBUSD, to be honest. If I do really focusing on, I might enter these positions. Okay, for these positions, as I already mentioned, the price has been forming the lowest of the week. The price has been breaking through this fair value gap, and also going back to the external to the internal. So I will be likely to do long trade from here, and then putting my SL below, and I can guarantee that I can get above this area. I will be usually putting my TP around this area. So if I do so, I think I can earn quite much. At least 1 to 4. 1 to 4 is a possible. At least will be 1 to 4. Okay. If much more higher, I think I can get to 1 to 5, but it's not really likely to go to 1 to 6. But 1 to 5, 1 to 4, it's quite okay already. So for example, if I'm using one lot size, I think I can again maybe 400 USD if I'm, because this is a tight stop loss thing, so I might be entering 5 lot size, to be honest, 5 to 6 lot size. And if the price do really reach this area, I think I can get 1.2 or 1.3, about 10 to 12% gain. But I didn't really focusing on this one. I'm much more focusing on the gold market. And beginning the gold market is really hard to watch if you still remember what I'm saying. I don't really know what is going on, because the price is putting lower and breaking through lower and lower. But once you using a bigger picture, then you will be knowing that once the price has been breaking through and going higher, it's likely to continue going higher. Okay, so you need to know the bigger picture, and now afterwards you can know what will be going on and how to trade afterwards. Time and price is really important. Market maker structure will be also important. Market maker is usually depending on the external to internal, and it's telling you guys how does the market works, how does the institution is doing, and after that you will be knowing that price will be delivered to a certain liquidations area. Okay, so right now Okay, so why is the gold fluctuating a little at night? So this is a really good question. As I already mentioned, the price today has been exceed 30, I think 30 or 40 price range. Okay, 30 price range. 30 price range, it's not really likely to be happening in a short period of time, and it's the average open on the gold market. So for example, once the price has been reaching through a certain area of volatility, the price will be rebalancing. So for example, here you can see that the price, once the price has been reaching through $30 price range, the price will be rebalancing up. Same goes to here. Once the price has been going through 24, 25, then the price will be going rebalancing. So for example, here as well, 31, and then the price has been rebalancing. And here as well, you can see that you will know what I'm saying. Okay, from here, the price has been reaching through 30, 31, 32, and then the price has been rebalancing. So right now, how much the price has been going per day? Okay, price has been reaching through 29. So the upwards momentum, it's not really likely, as I already mentioned, it's not really likely to pushing this above. So we'll be rebalancing right now. So I won't be doing shorts. I might need to wait more information. So as I already mentioned, if you do if you do long position right now, it's not a good chance. If you do buy right here, it's likely to breaking through this area. So don't do buy right now. Okay, hear me out. Don't do buy. Okay, because the price will be eventually breaking through this area. Mark my words, it's really highly probability that the price might be breaking through this lower point. Why? Because this is a lot of people will be doing long, and the institutions usually will be high probability than the retails. Okay, so the retails will be doing long in this area because thinking that this is a strong supporting area, and they will be putting their stop loss maybe around this area, thinking that this is supporting area, the price has been breaking through. Now currently is going rebalance, retracement to a certain supporting line, but it's not not work. It's the market don't work like that. Okay, once the price has been reaching certain area, then the price will be rebalancing. Just what I'm saying, the spring need to going back a certain place, and then once the spring has been forming accumulations, then the price will be going back towards a certain area. So right now, it's not a really good time to do long. Hear me out. It's not a really good time to do long. It's probably will be breaking through this area. Okay, I think I will I might be probably do short positions, to be honest, to aiming this area. So once the price might be going back to a rebalancing phase, maybe reaching through this area, I might be doing shots to prove my point. Okay, so I might be doing shots from here because this is the 50%. So I will be probably doing shots from here. Okay, so if I'm doing shots from here, where do I want to aim? I will be aiming this, and I will be putting here. So yeah, I think we can try to do shots once the price do really reaching back to this area. But if the price do really breaking down below, then I think we won't be doing anything. Okay, so this I will be try to prove you my point. It's not really likely that the price will be going towards upwards, but it seems like might be a chances that the price will be going back to this area. Why? Because people will be thinking that will be stopping them off, thinking that this is a long positions and going higher. So see, you can see that the price is going lower and lower, and will be reaching back towards this area. Okay, so once the price has been breaking through, then we'll be reevaluate again and see how it goes. So you see, the price has been breaking through. Once you do long position right here, you will be doomed. Okay, because mostly people will be putting their stop loss here and here. So what I'm thinking is that the price might be reaching through this area because this is the fair value gap will be rebalancing out from here at least. So the price has been reaching through this area. See? So if you do long positions here, a lot of people might be putting their stop loss below this area, grabbing back, and then currently will be going back to the rebalancing phase. So you need to know what is going on, and then you can try to do afterwards. Okay, so I won't be doing long, to be honest. I'm much more doing shots. Okay, if I want to do shots, I might be trying to aim here and put my stop loss above, and then I can try to make it here, 50 points, 50 pips, or much more lower. But right now, it's not a really good positions to do long. It's likely to go back to a rebalancing phase, as I already mentioned before. Okay, going back to the pairings of the Euro USD. Okay, if you still remember what I'm saying last week, we already mentioned that the price is going back to rebalance because has been grabbing these liquidations. Now it's going a rebalance phase. So from the 4 hour time frame, we can see that it has been going lower, 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 and it has been reaching through a certain area and then continue going higher. And we already mentioned that where does the price will be going back? Will be going back to this fair value gap. Okay, I already mentioned that we'll be going back to this fair value gap. And I think it's likely to continue going lower, to be honest, because this is the weekly time frame and has been reaching through a certain area. Okay, so I might be looking through on the downside, to be honest. But as we already mentioned, uh, yeah, I think I might be doing shorts, to be honest, because the price has been reaching through this. Going back to the manipulations, so we'll be using the 5 minute time frame. Okay, manipulations, displacement. Okay, displacement are really strong candlesticks breaking through this level. So break of structure has been happening. Okay, so I might be trying to do shorts, to be honest, because the price has been reaching through the lower point. There's a chances that the price might be reaching back, but it's not really likely. But I will be trying to do short positions uh in a in a more conservative way. So price has been breaking structure, rebalancing out. So I will be probably using a higher time frame to do shorts. So I need to see which area is going to happen. Okay, so this is the 4 hour time frame, the fair value gap from here to here, as I already marked up here. So I think I will be using 1 hour to 50 minutes to see a area. So I have probably 50 minutes. Okay, so the price might be going back to the rebalancing phase, reaching through this area. Okay, so we're likely to see the price will be going back to this area. Okay, because the price is going through an uptrend, so it's likely to see the price will be going back to this area. Okay, this area. And then once the price has been rejecting from here, then I think we can try to do shorts. I might be much more conservative using try to do shorts on Euro USD, but definitely there's a chances. So going back, is it time to buy gold bearish? Okay, as I already mentioned, it's not a really good one to do shorts or long. The price has been rebalanced back. I might be waiting for the price rebalancing outside. Then we can try to do short positions in this area. Okay. The long position still intact. So to be honest, I'm not really comfortable doing shorts or maybe even doing long right now. I will be continue monitor and see how it goes. But right now it's not really good time to be honest. Okay. Let's go through the SP500. Okay, I think let's go through Tesla. If you still remember what I'm saying, if you do really enter the positions that I given you, is the green area. 205, a sniper entry. I remember sniper entry. I already mentioned that 205 is strong support. You can try to do long. We have been already do a lot. Uh, 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 what? Top-down analysis. We can see that the manipulations has been forming and then displacement and reaching back this liquidations. Once the liquidation has been happening, then it will be going back to rebalance. Rebalance where? Rebalance to here. Then once the price has been reaching through this area, the daily time frame, you can see this is a rebalancing phase. So once the rebalancing phase has been forming, we already mentioned that it's likely to go back to this external liquidations. So you can see that if you know what's the market going on, you can try to make a really good profits. Okay, you just need to be patient, to be honest. So previously, I keep on using 1 minute time frame to show you guys how to add trades. So from the dollar index, as I already mentioned, if you still remember what I'm saying Monday, okay, we already mentioned that the price is reaching through this. So it's likely to go back to the lower sides. So where do we expect it? So the bias of the week might be going a bearish because the price has been breaking through this area. So if that happens when that's the highest time highest point of the week. Highest point of week will be Tuesday and Wednesday. So once the Wednesday has been forming the liquidations, you can see that the liquidations and then rebalancing out, and then you can see that fulfill this gap, and then after fulfill this gap, then the price has been continue going lower. Okay, so as I already mentioned, it's not really likely that the price will be reaching back towards this area. I'm thinking that. And uh, yeah, I think that the dollar index might be forming back towards this area. There's a chances because why this is a 4 hour fair value gap. So I think I will be waiting for break of structure first, maybe here. If that really happens, it's likely to go back towards this area. But right now, definitely bearish will be much more benefit right now. Okay, so once the price has been grabbing liquidity, so right now, asking you guys, okay, asking you guys, what do you think, right? What is going on right now on the gold market? Okay, answer. You can tell me on the comment section below. What do you think about the gold market is happening right now? Is it going higher or going lower? Okay, is it going higher or going lower? If you're thinking it's going higher, then you are right because the price has been breaking, grabbing liquidations, so it's likely to go back to the higher point. Okay, so you need to know that the price will be going grabbing liquidations to another liquidations. Once you know this, you can gain a lot of benefit, a lot of, I mean, a lot of edge. Okay, so once the price has been reaching through, grabbing here, breaking just liquidations, then we can try to do long positions. Okay, we can aiming here, we can aiming here, or we can aiming even here. Okay, so the price has been liquidations, grabbing liquidity, and then gapping. I think we can try to do long positions. Okay, so this is an area that we can take point on. So once the price has been forming, then we can expect that the price will be reaching back to this fair value gap. I don't think I won't be aiming this high, to be honest. I probably will be aiming this fair value gap. Okay, this fair value gap. Okay, shit. Okay, the mouse problem. Okay, we might we might be aiming this fair value gap area. Okay, so right now price has been going through higher. Okay, so you'll be asking, can I do long right now? No. Why? Because the price has been springing. You won't be doing long positions on the spring. You will be waiting for the price. Observe the price is what is going on, and then afterward seize your. Once the price has been and have been reaching your certain area, then you will be doing entry level. So from what we can see, this is the order block. So might be going back to a rebalancing. So after rebalancing, we will be trying to do long. Okay, there's a chances that the price do really happen breaking through here, but here is an order block. It's likely to give us a rebalancing. So we'll be using a 1 minute time frame, and we can try to do long positions here. Okay, so once the price going back this order block, we can try to do long positions here. Okay, and where do we put our stop loss? Okay, where do we put our stop loss? We can put it here. So from here to here, shit, because of this 1 hour. From here to here, we can put our stop loss. From here, from here to here, 20 pips, and we can get 30 pips, or I think we can try to get 40 pips, 2 to 1. Okay, so right now we need to be patient. Okay, because why? Because price has been reaching through this order block. So we need to be patient, wait for the price to react, and then we can try to do long positions. Okay, let me do a, okay, so let's do a long, okay. So after that, we will be putting our stop loss, we will be putting our stop loss below, shit, because of mouse. We'll be putting our stop loss below this area. I think the mouse keep on failing me. And then we can put it on the 2 to 1. Okay, we can try to make it here. Okay, so you can see we have been waiting for the price to react, and then we can try to take it out. So, but if you're really conservative, you can try to make it here. Like, you can try to make it here. Here, it's a really sure thing that the price will be reaching through. But if you are much more riskier, you can try to make it here. I probably will be make it 2 to 1 to be honest, because 2 to 1 risk reward ratio is bare minimum. So once the price has been reaching through, you can see the order block that I just drew on the red color. And then the price has been reaching through. This is the 20 pips, 25 pips, and then we'll be seize out this 50 pips. You can get 50 pips, but let's make it 1 to 4, and let's see how it happens. Okay, so the price is continue going lower, and the price has been reaching through. So this is a market maker buy model reaching through these liquidations, grabbing the liquidity. A lot of people will be thinking to do shorts right here, so has been trapped out. So it's likely to continue going higher. Okay, so reaching through this area, and let's see how it happens later on. Okay, so this is the stop loss we are putting on, and already mentioned that if the price do really reach through this area, I think it's okay. But if the price do really reach through this stop loss, I think it's might be a chance going lower, but it's not really likely what I can see. If that really happens, then my analysis, my bias might be wrong. Okay, but right now, definitely bullish is still intact. Doing long will be more beneficial. You can see this is the manipulation phase, and this is the order block. So right here is a rebalancing phase. The price is waiting for breaking through this area. So if you wanted to, you can try to make it this is your first TP area. Okay, you can try to this is your first TP area. It's likely to breaking through this area. So once the price has been breaking through this area, then we can try to make it higher here or maybe even here. Okay, so let's see how it turns out. This is the 1 minute or 1 minute or the block or maybe area. There's a chances that we'll be going back, but we will be using a much more aggressive approach from here. And then let's see how it turns out. So you can see that the price has been showing some kind of support because why? Because this is the fair value gap area. Okay, fair value gap area. Even though this is a 1 minute chart, I don't really like to use 1 minute. As I already mentioned, I don't really comfortable doing 1 minute, but sometimes you can use it 1 minute. So you can see this is a 50 minutes order block, so it's likely to reach through this area. A lot of people will be doing shots here. I thinking that it's much more people will be thinking to do shots here because reaching through resistance, breaking through structure point, and they will be thinking that might be continue going lower. But in fact, it's actually going higher because the price has been breaking through this area, and the overall structure point is going on the higher sides. Okay, so once the price has been reaching through, then we can see how it happens. Okay, but if the price do really break through this area, then we might be wrong. But it's definitely higher chances that the price is going on the higher sides. Okay, so on the 1 minute charts, the price is going rebalancing, so it's okay. Now it seems like the price is going through a rebalancing back to the 50%. Okay, so let's see on the 50%. So this is also one of the reasons, as I already mentioned, a more 1 minute usually is a much more aggressive approach. Okay, 50% haven't reached it yet, but this has been reaching through this order block right here. Order block. Oh, haven't yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going higher to be honest. And let's make it here. Okay, because as we grabbing liquidations, breaking here, might be rebalancing down to this order block. There's a chances, but I will putting a stop loss here. So once the stop loss been hit, then it's likely to then my bias might be changed. Right now, still bullish is more intact. Okay, so I did a go sell on 1 7 and make a wave for shorter profit. You seize the opportunity rapid like the rapid what corrections retrenchment. Okay, prices are back up again. The frustrations of gold will be relatively small this time, and now it's a bit hovering on 10 to 7 range. Okay, but we are definitely doing long, as we already mentioned. Unless the price breaking through this area, then my bias is wrong. We already mentioned that this is the lowest. The price has been varied this uh, order block. So right now it's rebalancing out. So once you know that where is the rebalancing out, so we already mentioned you need to know the spring. So once the spring has been holding on, then this is the lowest point, and then it's likely to reaching through this, or maybe even higher. Okay, so right now it's a rebalancing. I assume on, and we'll be waiting for the price to break through a certain area. So you can see that the price has been eventually will be going higher. I think next time if I really want to do long positions on the gold market in 1 minute, I think my stop loss I might be put more wider. Okay, for example, right here I'm putting a $2 range, and then I'm getting on 1 to 2, 1 to 2.1, 1 to 2, or 1 to 1.5, or that area. So for example here, hundreds, 20, 30, you can try to make it 20 pips. But I think the price is going back to this rebalancing phase of this fair value gap, maybe rebalancing out this area. So I'm much more doing long and putting here. So once the price the bad thing doing long positions in 1 minute charts, to be honest, is that it's really hard to know when to put your stop loss to break even point. I think this is the one of the most frustration thing that might be happening if you are trying to do a short term. But let's put it out and see what is happening later on. Okay, so right now we have been doing one lot size and gaining 100 USD, hopefully gaining back to the 400 USD and regaining back our losses maybe last week or maybe last 2 weeks and so on. So here you can see what is happening on the 5 minute charts. Wow, this is a really good one. You can see that this is the fair value gap. Oh, this is a really good one. So you can see that the price has been reaching through this fair value gap on the 50%. So once the price has been reaching through, oh, you can see that it's really a sniper entry. Even though we are focusing on the 1 minute, but everything is still on point, the price is going higher. We won't be doing shorts, to be honest. So it's definitely showing signs of going higher and reaching through this area. Okay, so you can see the price is going higher and going higher. There's a chances that it will be rebalancing out. Okay, so I won't be putting my stop loss above because it's not really a good one. I think I will probably stick with this and let the price to reach through my TP area. Okay, okay. Might be rebalancing back to the 1 minute because this is a 5 minute, 5 minute. So might be rebalancing to the 1 minute shots because this is what the external, and then going back to the internal. There's a chances going back to the internal. If you really want to do long positions, you can try to enter here. And then once you enter here, you can try to put your stop loss maybe below and get it from 1 to 2, 1 to 3 should be fine. Okay. So maybe the price will be rebalancing out because there's a lot of liquidations above, grabbing liquidations. Maybe here might be going a rebalancing phase, might be have another chance to do long positions. So hope you learned something and also have been gaining some points as well. We will be doing live trading. You can see that I've been doing analysis using this. And I already mentioned if I want to do shorts, I need to see the price going through a bearish momentum, breaking through this fair value gap and giving us a strong displacement. But no, the price has been grabbing liquidations from here. So it's likely to what is going on is going back towards upwards. So doing long positions is definitely much more approachable and much more benefits. So you need to know when to do. You when I SMC the most crucial thing to try to use this strategy is which time frame you are using. Okay, it's really crucial on this one. What I have been learning from the past two years. It's really important that which time frame you are using. This is a really crucial thing. Okay, if you know which time frame you're using, then you are really on the right point. Okay, So let's do, I think it's going back a rebalancing phase, to be honest. Break of structure, external, internal, I think it's going through a rebalancing using 1 minute charts. Rebalancing back and then continue going higher. Okay. So you can see this is a liquidations graph. So is it possible to break it here? Yes, it is. That's possible. But I think once the price has been reacting from here, then it's likely to go back here. 5 minute charts of rebalancing out. So now I'm thinking that the price is going through a rebalancing again, and it's not really likely going back here. It's not really likely to going back here because this is the fair value gap has been reacting to external to internal. So I'm probably using 1 minute to do charts, do trades. So I will be using this order block, the down move before out move. You can try to do long positions, to be honest. You can try to do another long positions right here because you can see this is an order block. If you want to be sure, I think you can wait for the price to go back on the 50%, and then you can try to do long positions. Okay, I think you can try to do long positions and make it 100 pips, 10 pips stop loss, or maybe reaching through 1 to 2, 1 to 3 should be fine because this is actually a rebalancing phase. What I can see is a really good rebalancing phase. But let's see how does the price react from here. And then you can put your stop loss below this area. Okay. I won't be doing another positions to be honest because I already done it. So I won't be doing two position in the same time. And let's see how it turns out. Okay. Price has been showing signs. Definitely break of structure. I think this one is a really good break of structure. So you can see the price has been showing manipulations. You can see that this is the manipulation phase displacement. So might be going a strong rebalance. Might be using this. I think using 5 minutes should be fine because this is a 5 minute charts. So might be going back a strong rebalancing. 50%. Might be going lower to 50%. Price do really reflecting from here really. So definitely going higher. Yeah, definitely thinking of going higher. Even though that the price is showing some kind of strength from this, might be reaching back to this area. Might be because this area is a fair value gap area. You can see there's a chances that the price do really reflecting from here. If that really happens, I think I might be doing long because this is a really break of structure, manipulation, displacement, and rebalance. I think there's a chances going to this area. So once the price do really reaching back, then we'll be waiting for another manipulations, and we can try to make it here. I think there's a chances that the price do really go back here. Okay. So see the price has been going through, reaching through this area, and going back. So going higher. So yeah, break of structure, rebalancing out, then continue going higher, reaching through this, or even much more higher in the longer time frame. Okay, so I think let's go back to the PPT. Today we are much more focusing on the charts, but let's go back to the PPT and let you guys know what is going on the market. So today is actually a really good day. Okay, the most important thing I'm talking about is this week is the US NFP and also the US data. Actually, my expectations is that the US data might be going strong, especially for the job demand, because from the past data, we can see that the spending power has been going strong. So it's much more likely to give some support from the employment sides. So as we already mentioned, there's three data is consecutive affecting each others. So for example, the inflations, the employments, and also the spending power. These three things is actually will be affecting each other. So it's really important. Once the spending power increasing, it's likely to show some signs of the employment sign. Employment might be going strong. So this is what I'm thinking about it. Okay, so let's go back is what has happened from yesterday. Okay, the Bank of Canada today has been reduces the target for the overnight rate to 4.25 basis point. Okay, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, dropping another 25 basis point. Why? Because every indicator has been showing signs that Canada has been economy has been going weak, especially on the labor market, the spending power, the inflations, everything has been going slow. Okay, even though that the inflation rate has been reaching back to 2.5%, higher than 2%, but you can see that other things like the employments, the spending power has been greatly affected. And they already specialized and specific saying that the high shelter price inflations is still the biggest contributor, but has been starting to slow down. Okay, so eventually the inflation will be dropping back to 2%. It's just a matter of time that the 2% will be reached out. Okay, so in the end, what is going on? To summarize, the Canada economy system is beginning to gradually slowing down, and the Canada has been beginning to cut interest rates to support their economy situations. If you do really listen their news, they're actually saying that they won't be focusing on the inflation sides, it's much more focusing on the economy sides. Because of that, CAD pairings will be continue putting pressure on, and this might be putting a little bit support from the USD pairings. Okay, next is the JOLTS job openings. This data is reflecting on the job. Okay, the job, the jobs. Okay, the jobs. So the jobs. So this data is actually opening. So once there's a lot of job openings, this data will be reflecting on. Okay. So once the job data is it's putting pressure, then this data will be lower than expectations. So this is a really direct data. So from the data, it has been showing that the job opening has been decreasing and the demand of worker has been continue cooling down. So this is also the lowest number from the opening since January 2021. From the Wednesday data, it's the first in series critical important data because a lot of people will be using this data to predicting on the US ATP or even on the US NFP as well. So these two data will be they will be focusing on these two data. Okay, as the labor market has been slowing down, it's come back to the balance. So right now, the labor market is not really go through a strong decline. It's maybe going through a strong rebalancing. Okay, but right now, because of the fear has been growing recently, the labor market has been going a really strong downtrend right now. Like, as you can see, the unemployment rate has been reaching through 4.3%. The employment change has been going down. Everything, the job opening has been continue going lower. So the risk of recessions might be increasing. So you can see that the stock indexes has been putting a little bit pressure. From the data has been shown that September stock indexes not a really good week. Stock indexes usually will be putting pressure on. So this might be need to take in mind of that. Okay, so this is what is happening from this two data. So to summarize, right now is the economy situations has been slowing down. Okay, the US job openings, the US job demand has been decreasing. Okay, the Canada economy has been slowing down. So they have been entering on the cutting rates phase. So right now, in the future, we can expect that the risk assets like the cryptocurrency might be going higher, and also the Bitcoin, the stock indexes, the crude oil will be definitely going higher maybe in the future. Okay, so let's go back to this. Okay, the price has been reaching through this. Oh, this one is really good one as well. Okay, because has been breaking structure and breaking here. So yeah, this is actually another good position to do long. So you can see that the price has been breaking here. The fair value gap has been not a really affected. Not really. It has been what does it mean by that? Has been disrespected. So it's likely to continue going higher. Okay, right now it's rebalancing, forming a rebalancing phase. Might be reaching through this because this is the equal low. Okay, we need to see the internal manipulations. Right now, we haven't seen it yet. So if the price do really reaching through here, internal one, then we can try to do long positions. So right now, I think that it's really good chance to do long positions. I will be doing long, to be honest, from here. I will putting my SL here and aiming 50 pips. I think we can aim it 1 to 2, maybe 60 here. Okay, so price might be rebalancing out here. So once the price do give us the internal manipulations, then this is our second point of the week. So I think we need to see the price breaking through this area because manipulations from here, okay, has been done. So the manipulations has been done. So we need to see a strong pushback. Okay, a strong pushback we need to see. So right here we can see that it's been going back to the strong pushback. We need to see the candlestick close above within a 1 minute time frame, or maybe even 5 minutes to be sure. So we'll be waiting for the price to close above. Okay. So right here is a really good one. I think it's a really good setup. Manipulation displacement right now is definitely going back to a rebalancing. So right here will be you can see that this is an order block. I mean a fair to a rebalancing. So right here will be, you can see that this is an order block, I mean a fair bit of gap. So we need to see a strong back. Yeah, there's a chances that I might be stopping out, but it's quite, everything has been showing signs of going higher, so I'm quite okay with it. So this is a really good one. See, you can see the price has been manipulated out. So we'll be waiting for another 2 minutes and then we can entry. Okay, because this is a 5 minute, so I will be using 5 minutes to give us the confirmations. Okay, so once the price has been giving out, then we can try to make a long entry. So we'll be waiting another 2 minutes, so you can see freaking out. So this is what I wanted to see, the internal manipulations here, breaking out, going much more higher. Okay, I think I will be using waiting for another minutes, 5 minutes. Once the price closing above, then I think it's quite okay that I'm trying to do long and putting my SL maybe below this area. Can try to make it below this area, and then you can try to make it much more higher. Okay, so let's look through the questions. Okay, now it's a bit. It seems that the highlight definitely okay, and it'll be usually a month. The first 2 week of each month, the most data, there will be important CPI, PPI next week. They are very important trading opportunities. As expected, gold continue to correct uh and fall before it rose above 2420. Yeah. So we'll be waiting another minute and see how does the price go. Okay, the price haven't closed above yet. Is there any data on 9:45? Uh, did we miss a data? Oh, okay, I think we have missed out a data, the USB service PMI. Okay, then we are likely to been stopped out. There's a chances that we've been stopped out. I didn't realize that we have another data. Yeah, if that really happens, then we might be spiked out. But the bullish momentum still intact. We are waiting for something bearish, a bullish momentum closing above. Then we can try to do long positions afterwards. Well, we will continue to putting our stop loss below and see what it happens. Okay, the price is going a rebalancing. Is it possible to rebalancing down? Might be, there's a chances too, to be honest, but I really forgot it that 2:45 we have another data showing out. So this is my mistake. If that really happens, that's one of the uncertainty issues. But you need to know that data usually manipulate everyone. So this might, I might be manipulated by this market, but we'll be continue putting this. If stop out, then we'll be stop out. Okay. I think probably I will be stopping out because the bearish momentum is likely strong. Yeah, likely strong. Yeah. Uh, thing and next time I won't be doing trades on the 1 minute because 1 minute you can take a later positions. So we have been taking out another loss. Okay, this week is not a really good week, but definitely my analysis still okay with it. I just forgot about the data has been showing up, but definitely we'll be waiting for the price to react. It's definitely giving us some kind of manipulation back, then continue going back to the what? Okay, external to internal. We've been stopping out. Recently, keep on stopping out. This is really frustrations. But yeah, I think this is the 50% point, 50%. So price reacting from here. We need to see strong, a strong, a strong push up. This week we actually been stopping out quite much. Okay, yeah, been stopping out quite much, two, three times. Yeah, need to be careful. When is the start of the week? Nine, nine, 2. Yeah, I think I've been stopping. I've been winning this two. Then this three has been quite continuous stopping out. This three, yeah, stopping out and again a bit and stopping out. This week is not a really good week as well. Okay, 1 hour time frame. Is it possible that this is a 1 hour rebalancing going back to the 5 minute rebalancing phase? Going lower, reaching on within this 1 hour. Huh, seems like it. I'm thinking that the price might be reaching through this and then continue going lower. But yeah, this is why I don't really like to trade 1 minutes, but it's okay. I think we can get it back in a certain time, but maybe not today or maybe not this week, but likely to happen on next week. Okay, this account we have been traded quite a while and has it have been deposit 10,000 and currently has been profit 1.4. The highest I go through is about 6K I think, and has been frustrations since then. I think the most important thing is I've been stopped out quite much because I use 1 minute quite often, so 1 minute is really easy to stop out, to be honest. Seems like continue going lower. Hmm. This one within a 1 minute. Thought that the price would be reaching through this area. 1 minute entry here. Not a really good one, can say, but we already expected that the price would be reaching through this. Yep, but I thought this might be a rebalancing, reaching through this area and then giving us a swipe off. But the price didn't give us a really good one. Right now, it seems like this is a market maker sell model reaching below. Yeah, might be closing below in currently in a 1 hour candlestick. Let's see how it happens. But to be honest, this week we have been stopped out quite often. For example, this one we have been stopping twice, and Today have been swiping once, and then this week we actually lost a few, to be honest. Okay, this one is a really not a good one. I didn't expected that 9:45 have a news, so this is my problem. 9:45 usually will be giving some kind of manipulations. So yeah, this might be one of my problem in the future. I might need to be aware of. Okay, we have another 8 minutes left. So if you have any questions, please do leave a comment sections below. And hopefully you learn something new, even though we have been stop loss again, but we'll be continue doing trading together and hopefully one day we'll be gaining back to our fits back. Okay, price do really go through a rebalancing phase, but this is not a really good one. Extend going back. Didn't expected that this one going back a strong declining back towards this area. But it seems like going lower because the high time frame has been reaching through this liquidations. So it might be going back to the lower sides. But the price didn't give us a strong displacement, to be honest. You can see that this might be a manipulation. This might be a manipulation, but this is not a really good displacement because it's not close above, close below, and then swiping off. So this is not a really good displacement, to be honest. Okay, this is the not a good thing to trade when 8:30. It's really easy to swipe off. So I need to rebalancing out and see what we can do in the future. But we are definitely going back to the profit side. So we actually it's already been profit, but just down a bit. See, this might be a support area, as we already mentioned. Might be going back towards this area. There's the chances. If that really happens, then gold market might be putting a little bit pressure back towards this area, maybe back to this area. As I already mentioned, this is not a really good time to trade. You can trade short term, but not in the longer time frame. I need to see really good confirmations breaking through this area first. Then I might be doing shots. But if not, I will be probably waiting for it because the market is still giving us mixed informations. Okay, let's talk about the charts. Okay, the CME Watch Tools has been showing signs of it's likely to raise 50 basis point, 50 basis point, 43% compared to yesterday. Okay, it's slightly higher percentage compared to yesterday, 50 basis point, 43%. So this might be giving some kind of support from the dollar index and might be putting a little bit pressure on the gold market because the gold market is reaching through strong, a really strong pressure on it. Okay, so this is a really important thing that you might be need to be aware about it. Okay, from the currency trend index, we can see that the JPY pairings has been continue gaining strong. Okay, compared to others like AUD pairings. Okay, comparing to the AUD pairings and the New Zealand pairings and so on. So you can see that this is risk assets is continue to going higher. So JPY pairings, CHI pairings will be continue to maintaining on a higher basis. So putting doing long positions on the JPY pairing as the CHI pairings might be a beneficial in the short period of time. Okay, so I think we have another data coming on 10 p.m. So I think it's likely to give us another manipulations towards the downwards. So yeah, I think we will be waiting for another 2 minutes and see how does the market goes. Okay, we'll be waiting for another minute and see how does the price goes. If the price do really push pressure below, I think there's likely chances to form a manipulations afterwards. Yep, the data is so the price do really go back to rebalancing phase. So this might be a really good manipulation, displacement. This might be a really good trade after all. Maybe going back to the displacement then continue going lower. But to be honest, I won't be doing shorts because this one is a really not a really good sign. I need to see much more information showing signs of going lower. But it seems like it's going lower. The dollar index has been forming some kind of support to our supporting area. So yeah, maybe giving us here, reaching back to this area, if you know what I mean. Okay, reaching lower and reaching through this area. Yeah, I think the price is definitely might be breaking through this area. So yeah, doing short is much more beneficial and going back to a rebalancing phase. So yeah, I think now we can try to do shorts because the price has been breaking through the fair value gap area. Okay, the 50% has been breaking through. Let's see, is it breaking through? Yep. The price has been verified, but I think that the price is definitely going lower. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you for joining, and we'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. To be summarized, the gold market is going lower and rebalancing out. I think it's what I'm saying after all. Okay, thank you for seeing my live streaming, and we'll be seeing you guys tomorrow.